Hello, Sinead. Hi, Maya. Just going to wait a couple of minutes just while people start joining. How are you? Are you okay? Hello, everybody that's joining. Hi, how are you? Hi, Elizabeth. Yes, all good, thank you. What have you all been up to today? Let me know what you've been doing. And how are you all finding lockdown? Yes, pretty much the same, Sinead. I've just been doing some bits and pieces. So I'm working at Tesco's at the moment, so this has been one of my days off. So I've pretty much been doing some life admin. And doing some bits and pieces around the house. Nothing too exciting. Nothing crazy. Oh, miss you too, Sinead. It's so sad that all the shows and that aren't on the road at the moment, because like we're all just at home really missing seeing all the people that we would see quite regularly, or like the people that, you know, travel so far to come and see us, and the people that just come and see us when the show's near to their home and that. So hello, Tilly. I'm going to give it one more minute and then we'll get started. Yeah, hopefully, Sinead, hopefully. But who knows what's going to happen. I saw today that Andrew Lloyd Webber had been given a report in which the government had recommended that one of the ways theatres could reopen was to open musicals without singing, which, as all of you lot, as lovers of musicals, would understand, isn't really that possible. So, can you all see me? And can you all hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear everything that I'm saying. I hope you can't hear that noise. I think that's the boiler. Not sure though. Perfect, you can all see me and all hear me, which is lovely. So I just thought I'd come on here and basically have a chat with you guys, answer any questions that you might have, talk about anything that you guys wanted me to talk about. So if there are any questions that you've got, fire away and I'll answer those. And then after we've done sort of like maybe 10 or so minutes of that, or we've run out of questions or whatever, then I was going to have a little sing if you guys wanted that. Only like a couple of songs, and then yeah, go from there basically. It's just sort of like a little live at 5, just coming at you guys, sort of see how you are, see what you're up to, and answer any questions that you might have. I've got my cup of tea here. This mug was bought for me by our dance captain, Gemma. It's my favourite mug. It's the perfect size for a cup of tea. So if you have any questions, chuck them in the comments and I'll answer them as we go. Hi Debs, thank you for joining us. As I just said, I just repeat for anyone who just joined while I was talking, I've just come on here to sort of say hello to everybody and answer any questions that you might have. So chuck any questions into the comments and I will answer them as we go. I am fine, thank you Debs, how are you? It's very strange to have a conversation on these live things because you're talking to people that aren't there, but they are there, if that makes sense. So like you guys can see me and you're answering, but I can't see you, so it's very strange. So Sinead has kicked off with who is your favourite Joseph. whilst I was working on the show, I was super lucky because I got to work with not only the Josephs but all of the understudies as well. So when I first joined the show back in 2019, I was working with Jamie Hensley as Joseph, and then it was George Beat who was the cover Joseph, and also my very, very dear friend. And not that Jamie wasn't my friend, just that I was especially close with George. And Jamie Buckley, Jamie Jukes as the second cover Joseph. And then when I moved into my next contract, I had Tom Bainbridge as first cover Joseph, and Alec Porter. I think Porter is his stage name. I think that's what you guys would know him as. I'm sorry if that's not his stage name. As the second cover. And I was lucky enough to work with all of them. Not all of them got to go on stage. Actually, that's not true. All of them got to go on stage except for Alec. Alec was the only one who didn't perform in front of an audience, but we did lots of cover rehearsals together. And I enjoyed working with all of them in so many different ways. I don't think I could pinpoint a favourite. I think that the energy that Jamie brought to the role was amazing and exactly what was needed for the 2019 version. And then when Mark took over at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, like, he just brought it into the new year in such a classy way. Like, his voice is so smooth and so stylish, like, it's perfect. They both brought the perfect, like, young boy energy that is needed to play the role, and both did it effortlessly, completely differently but effortlessly. And the same went for all the understudies that I was lucky enough to work with. Like, it's very special to get to play opposite one of your very best friends, and I got that when I was working with George and when I was working with Tom. Like, to be able to do the Mrs. P pas de deux stuff with someone who you're very close with, it's so special, and it's like, it's memories that can't really be replaced. Very much the same as when I was working with the Pharaohs. I was very close with all of the Pharaohs, so it was like amazing to work opposite them and to interact with them all the time. Like, it was fabulous to work with Andrew and Henry Laws, and then the two understudies, Callum and Bradley, who were very, very close friends of mine. Getting to see them go on stage was like unbeatable. So, who or what was your inspiration to become a performer? Well, I think that as performers, we are constantly being inspired. So, like, I am inspired every single day by all of my friends, and then also people that I look up to and want to be like. And, you know, talking of inspirations, my friend Josh has just joined. He's definitely a huge inspiration for me. Like, the way he works in the industry, I find I think his work ethic and everything is so admirable. But initially, to become a performer, I think that my love for musicals was formed from the very first time I went to see The Lion King. I was about 10 or 11 years old, and we went on a family trip up to London and watched the show. And I don't think I have such a strong connection to, like, seeing, like, magic alive on stage as I did that first time I saw Lion King. Like, that was so special for me, and that's definitely what started a strong love of musical theatre and convinced me to take it on. So I would say that was what inspired me initially. But as a performer, I'm being inspired every single day by everyone in the industry, because you always hear people and you think, oh my gosh, that is incredible, I want to be like that. Or you see people and you think, I want to be like that, I want to dance like that, I want to be able to do that. Like, you know, and then it's also things like people's attitude is so inspiring. Like what I was saying about Josh, like his work ethic, and that's just so inspiring to me. But yeah, I'd say that's what I would call all those things my inspiration. Which theatre was your favourite theatre? That again is another hard question. I would say that my favourite theatre to take Joseph to was definitely the Hippodrome in Birmingham. I think that inclusivity is so important in the arts, and it was the most inclusive theatre that we took the show to. So whilst we were there, we did all different types of performances to make theatre accessible. So, you know, we did schools performances, we did relaxed performances for people with additional needs, we did a sign performance, we also did a caption performance, and that was all down to the theatre. That was the theatre's choice, and the way that they make theatre so inclusive at the Hippodrome is what makes it one of my favourite theatres, not to mention the fact that it's absolutely beautiful, and we were lucky enough to spend 2 weeks there, which was amazing. Moving on, what is your dream role? I have lots of dream roles. I think for me, there are so many roles, like, to be on stage is the dream. So there are so many roles that fall under that, because, you know, pretty much any female role on the stage is a dream for me. But I think that it comes down to it, like, it comes more down to, like, the shows that I want to eventually at some point in my career be involved in. And I think at this moment in time, it changes all the time. As I say, like, I'm always being inspired and I'm always finding new things, but like at this moment in time, like, I definitely would love to be in Hamilton. The Schuyler sisters, like, that's like a dream for me. I think I love covering people, so I love understudying and swinging and covering. So for me, a standby Schuyler sister is like the ultimate dream at the moment. But that's not to say that in like a year or 2 years or whatever, that might have changed and it might be something else. But at the moment, it's that. So thank you for that question. Sinead, did you see Jamie Jukes on First Dates? I did, yes. Did you see him on First Dates? I watched it recently with my dad. My dad is an avid fan of both Jamie Jukes and First Dates, so we sat down and watched that together, and we really enjoyed it. It was nice to see Jamie, because obviously with lockdown at the moment, I've not seen Jamie for a while, so even to just see him in front of me on the screen was a lovely, lovely evening. Have you performed in a different country or language? No, I don't think I have. I mean, I've been performing since I was young, but professionally, I definitely haven't performed in a different country or language. But as a child, I'm trying to think if as a child I ever did anything like that. Not off the top of my head that I can remember. And obviously with Joseph, we were only a UK tour, so the furthest we went was Dublin and right up to Aberdeen in Scotland. I say that's the furthest we went, that's because home for me is right in the south, so Aberdeen is the furthest away from home for me. Any more questions? Any more questions? I know that they have taken the show internationally before, but I wasn't part of the cast at the time, and the other things that I've done since starting my professional career have all been UK based. Hello Paul! How's Jamie Hensley? Well, that is a wonderful question, Sinead. How is Jamie Hensley? I haven't spoken to him terribly recently, actually, but the last time I checked in with him, he was okay and surviving lockdown, as we all are, to be here. So I think he's still good. I hope he's still good, but I haven't spoken to him in a good few weeks. I must catch up with him, so I will do that. Do you have any pre-show superstitions or rituals? No, I don't have any things that I have to do before the show. There are lots of things that I would do before the show. Hi Andrew. Specifically, I am a person that at beginners, you can always find me eating, which is a terrible pre-show thing to do. Absolutely awful. But I would normally be found with some kind of snack in my hand at beginners, which is, I don't recommend it in any kind of way. Yeah, Paul's right with my pre-show cookie or my pre-show shortbread. I think the most ridiculous thing was pre-show pizza. I had a slice of pizza. There was also the time with the cheese toastie. Whilst the overture was playing, I was eating a cheese toastie. But that's probably that's my pre-show thing. It's not something I have to do, and I wouldn't do it every show, but normally before the show starts you can find me eating, and if I'm not eating it's because I haven't stuck my eyelashes on yet, so I'm frantically sticking my eyelashes on. So I guess if I was more organised I'd probably have a pre-show ritual, but I'm not that organised. And Andrew's right, yeah, always go to my station to find a mint. I've always got mints, always. Probably got some on me right now actually, but you know, don't need them because you guys are nowhere near me. And were there any other questions? Would you do Joseph again? Yes, I would do Joseph again. I think that the memories that I made on the show were so incredible that to have the opportunity to go on the road with it again would be absolutely amazing. I think at the time, if you'd have asked me at the time, I probably would have said no, never. Because a year is obviously a really long time to be doing a show for, but as soon as you come away from it, you remember all the amazing things about it. And so I definitely would do it again. So Bill, if you're listening and you're putting it back out there, I would do it again. Are you managing to stay motivated to stretch or work on flexibility during the lockdown? I can't seem to motivate myself to do it. Yes, I don't know if I am as on top of things as I was doing the show, because obviously every single day we'd be doing a physical warm-up and we'd be stretching ourselves out and we'd be like at our peak stamina wise, but I am managing to keep myself going, which is amazing because I never ever thought I would be able to do that. I think the main focus for me has been that one of my friends, Abby, she has been making these little workout plans, and they have a theme. So last month's theme was Avengers. This month's theme is Disney. And as you can see, I'm a huge Disney fan. So those types of things really appeal to me. And what it is every day has a workout that is themed around, at the moment, a Disney character, or it's like a Disney challenge or whatever. So, and then after I do that, I always make sure I do 10 minutes of stretching. I've also found that this thing, my Apple Watch here, is constantly telling me to, you know, stand up, get exercising, get moving. And I definitely need that constant reminder, because I honestly will distract myself any way I can. Like, anything is a distraction for me, and I will saying motivated, I'm not a self-motivator at all. I need someone to be there and be like, Amber, do this. So, you know, it is hard to find that self-motivation, which is why, like, I found, like, doing, like, set things keeps me motivated, because it keeps me focused, because there's, like, an end goal, do you know what I mean? To get to the end of the month, to get to the end of the month's plan is the goal. And Abby's plans are raising money for charity as well. So that's another incentive for me, because I feel like I've donated money, so I've got to see it through, if you know what I mean. And then doing my 10 minutes of stretching after that. I don't know if I'm in like Mrs. P flexibility conditions. I don't know if my left leg would go behind my head. Definitely not right now because I'm in jeans. But I have been stretching and I have been motivating myself. But I do see what you mean, Jessie. It's very difficult to keep yourself motivated. I would just say that if you are with someone else during lockdown, maybe try and get them on board. I've managed to get my dad involved in doing these workouts, which is something I never thought I'd see, ever. But he's been doing them every single day, and seeing him keep going and going and going has been like amazing, absolutely amazing, and definitely has helped to keep me motivated. So if you've got someone in your household, or if you have someone who's not in your household, maybe you could FaceTime somebody and stretch along with them. That might keep you motivated, because you've got to do it. If someone's there in front of you, you've got to do it. Do you know what I mean? I can't give up if my dad's there doing it. Hello Barbara, and hello Stephen, and hello Matt Jolly. How are you all? Are you all okay? And then, if you wouldn't have become a performer, what would you love doing? If I wasn't a performer, I would definitely be an English teacher. That was what I wanted to do before I just realised that I'm incapable of sitting still, and that I have to dance and I have to be on stage. I absolutely love literature, which is another reason why I love performing, because, you know, I love plays and I love writing and I love reading and I love stories. So that's another reason why, you know, musical theatre and performing is for me. So I would definitely be doing that if I wasn't performing. I think, yeah, because that's what I wanted to do. Does anybody else have any questions for me? It's so weird to talk and not see anybody. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage? The funniest thing? I don't know. I don't know what the funniest thing is. There's so many funny things, especially over the past year with Joseph. There's been so many funny things that have happened. But when I'm telling funny stories, I do always tell the story of when I was younger. So when I was younger, I used to do lots of pantos, local pantos. And during one of them, I must have been about 10. And during one of them, my skirt came undone whilst I was on stage. And I was always taught that no matter what happens, you keep going. That was it. No matter what happens, you keep going. So I grabbed my skirt round the back like this, and I held it with one hand whilst carrying on doing the moves. And the routine had some overhead claps in it. And thinking on my feet, I just was patting the top of my head instead of clapping over the top of my head. And it's something that all, like, my family love to bring that story out. And they always think that it's ridiculously funny. But there was always things going on tour. We were always playing like games and stuff on stage. I don't know if I should really say that, but yeah, Stephen, I bet you can imagine it, like a little 10-year-old me there, like desperately trying to keep going, smacking myself on the head. But that was it. And there was another time in that same contract where my jazz shoe fell off and I carried on with just one shoe on. And then I told one of the senior dancers when we were doing like a little bit of like talking in a scene, and I was like, my jazz shoe fell off, and she went off into the wing and got my jazz shoe and brought it back on, and I put my shoe on. But like mishaps, I'm very clumsy, so mishaps always happen to me. Like I'm always coming off with a bruise or a something like that, like a shoe falling off or whatever. Charlotte's shoe fell off actually on stage, which was absolutely, like, I was crying with laughter. But I don't know, I can't choose the funniest. Andrew's probably better at choosing that than me, because he probably remembers it better, because I'm probably too busy being embarrassed. When did you realise you definitely wanted to be a performer? I think I've always wanted to be a performer, but I've definitely realised that it was all I actually, like now, I feel like it's all I'm not capable of doing, but it's what I'm meant to be doing. And I think I realised that when I was about 17. I went to academic college and I was studying, and I was doing like shows on the side, like amateur shows. And I realised that I enjoyed the shows more than I enjoyed being at college. Like, I enjoyed doing the shows than sitting there learning about the shows. And I just thought that was it. Oh, I think my... can you still hear me? I think my AirPod might have just died then. But I'm not sure. Can you still hear me? Take this one out and see. Can you still hear me? I'm not entirely sure if you can. Do you have a favourite author or type of book? Yes, I do. I don't know why I hesitated when I was saying that. My favourite author or type of book. I really like crime and suspense novels. They're my favourite. So at the moment I am reading the Silence of the Lambs books, and I'm really enjoying those. But I think my favourite book ever is The Great Gatsby. I've got multiple copies of The Great Gatsby, and because I love literature so much, I write all over them. So like you'll find like copies of The Great Gatsby just dotted about with my handwriting all through them, because I always like write down like, this is my favourite bit, or like this means this, or I love that means that, and stuff like that. Like pretty much I'm awful. I write all over books all the time, so like all the books in this house have my writing all through them. But it's the literature student in me. It's the literature student in me. I can't not analyse a piece of writing. What Disney movie do you like? I love them all. I'm absolutely obsessed with all of them. I can't pick a favourite. I have to categorise my favourites. So I have a feeling my thing is about to switch itself off. If it does, I will come back, don't panic. But I have to categorise. I have to do like my favourite Pixar, my favourite princess and stuff like that. But at the moment, I am in love with Big Hero 6. That's like my go-to at the moment to put on. I mean, it's been my go-to for a good few years. What's your favourite Joseph song? The Mega Mix. It's not a song, but it's what I always say is my favourite, because I just really, really enjoy it. Not gonna lie, you're amazing when I was in Joseph in Wolverhampton. Thank you, that's so kind of you, Gabe. That was actually our final week, Wolverhampton. That was the last time that I was on stage with the show. So it was a special week for us, really, because it was bringing everything to a close, if you will. But yeah, does anyone have any other questions? I really think my Instagram is going to time out, because whilst I've been in lockdown, I've been doing this thing where I've been setting myself time limits so that I can only go on Instagram for like 2 hours a day, so that I don't sit and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And it's just said to me that I'm about to reach my time limit. If I close this, are you going to leave forever? Okay, right, I'm back and I've taken the limit off now, so that should be okay. If nobody else has any questions, then I'm happy to move on and sit and do a little bit of singing for you guys and then wrap it up. I mean, you guys all voted for me to sing. I haven't sung in ages, by the way, so my voice is absolutely diabolical. I will admit that openly.
Battery 30%. Connected Ember's iPad and Ember's phone.
Anyone who's been on tour with me will know that sound. That's my speaker. So, any more questions? No? Okay, well I'm going to play some music and let me know if you can hear it. Because I've got my headphone in, I don't know if you can... Can you hear that? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music. Oh, it's so weird. I feels like I'm just singing into the mirror because it's just there. I'm not going to start until I get a little thumbs up from at least some person saying they can hear that. Okay, Sinead can hear the music, Josh can hear the music, Tracy can hear the music. Excellent. Okie dokes. Well, I'll sing for you then, I guess. This is a song called Gravity by Sarah Bareilles. It's one of my favourites to sing. Something always brings me back to you, and it never takes too long. No matter what I say or do, I will still feel you here till the moment I'm gone. You hold me without touch, and you keep me without chains. I've never wanted anything so much than to drown in your love and not feel your rain. Set me free, leave me be. Oh, I don't wanna fall another moment into your gravity. Here I am and I stand so over me. Oh, you loved me 'cause I'm fragile when I thought that I was strong. You touched me for a little while, and all my fragile strength is gone. Set me free, leave me be. Oh, I don't wanna fall another moment into your gravity. Here I am, and I stand so tall, just the way I'm supposed to be. But you're onto me, you're all over me. I live here on my knees as I try to make you see that you're everything I think I need here on the ground. You're not a friend or foe, though I can't seem to let you go. One thing that I still know is that you're keeping me down. You're keeping me down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you're onto me and all over. Something always brings me back to you, and it never takes too long. Thank you! As you can tell, I've not really been singing very much during lockdown. So it's not the greatest performance I've ever given, but you guys wanted to hear me sing, so there it was. I'm going to do one more for you before we wrap it up and I go. So I'm going to give you one more song. Just one more song. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Bit selfish for just me to just enjoy it, but first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes. And the first time ever I lay with you, I felt your heart so close to mine, and I knew that our joy would fill the earth and last and last and last until the end of time, my love. And the first time ever I saw your face, your face, your face, your face. Thank you guys, thank you so much for watching. My voice is a little bit short actually because last week I was at the Black Lives Matter protest in Brighton and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. It was such a moving and amazing day, and so I'm so proud to be part of it, and I'm so proud of the black community that we have here in Brighton. And I just wanted to take this opportunity right now to speak about the Black Lives Matter movement and just how important it is. If you don't know what it is, then I would recommend that you go and do your research on it, because it's so important and it will be so important for our industry as well. But basically, Black Lives Matter, and that's what I want to say to you guys right now. They always have and they always will. And the movement doesn't mean that Black Lives Matter only, that Black Lives Matter more than anyone else. Like, it's just that we want them to matter equally, and that's where we're at basically. So I would love it if you guys could get behind the movement and you could support me in supporting the movement. And if you want to know any more, then you can message me on my personal page, because like, this platform is obviously, you know, for the Joseph concert. So if you want to know any more about that, then just message me at @AmsKennedy and we can have an open discussion about it, and I can point you in the direction of resources and all sorts of things. So thank you so much for joining me today. And hi Jordan, I didn't get to say hi to you when you came on just now. And hello Mikey, I saw that you popped in as well. So yeah, I will make sure that this is saved so that you can view this, and Jordan mentions that it'll go up on the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining me for a cup of tea today. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to my wailing. I hope that you had a great time, and yeah, like I say, if you have any more questions, I'm still going to keep running the page until the end of the day. Don't forget that they're running a quiz over on Facebook at 7 o'clock. So Facebook Live, 7 o'clock, there's a quiz. It's a musicals quiz tonight, and it's run by Jordan. And I think Hayley, is it Hayley that's doing it with you, Jordan? So they're doing a quiz tonight, so join in for that if you want to. But thank you so much for joining me. Lots of love to you guys. Stay safe out there, because it's a crazy world at the moment. And if you think any more questions, then please just send them along in the stories, and I'll keep answering those for the rest of the day. But thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of your Friday and an amazing weekend. See you soon, guys. Thank you.